for that occasion, sir. Please, can you move him to? He's supposed to be sitting next to our boss that way. Thank you very much. So, many of you can give us a please a round of applause for him. Thank you very much. Also want to recognize the chairman of Mcpd Committee, Niesv National, my institution, as a surveyor by the Pastor Victor Ayeye. Please a round of applause for him, a fellow of the institution. Coming up right after this is the chairman of Mcpd Committee of our institution, Abuja branch, as a surveyor by the Mcpd, a fellow of the institution. Please a round of applause for him as he comes to do welcome, especially on behalf of the Mcpd. You're welcome, sir.
The Honorable Minister in Absentia, the Chairman of Education, representative of our President, Nigeria Institution of Ethics of Youth and Valuers, distinguished guests, senior fellows, noble colleagues, permit me to stand on the existing protocol. It is with great joy I welcome you all to this year's Mcpd seminar of the Nigeria Institution of Ethics of Youth and Valuers, Abuja branch. The nation cannot attain her desired level of development without a sustainable infrastructural renewal program. It is worthy of note that this administration is taking giant strides in ensuring that the nation's infrastructural stocks attain best practices as applicable in developed nations through the introduction of laudable projects which cut across all sectors of the economy, such as the oil and gas, housing, waterways, railway, environment, and transportation, just mentioned in a few. The planning, design, and construction of sustainable infrastructure is of vital importance in developed and developing countries and in rural and urban areas, as it supports and connects our communities. In both developed and developing nations like Nigeria around the world, the lack of or compromised access to clean water, sanitation, energy, and transportation severely compromises well-being and the economic base and the economy. Basic infrastructure is therefore not a luxury that can wait for better economic times, but a precondition for supporting and creating them. The provision of appropriate infrastructure is an urgent and ongoing global requirement. It is not simply the short-term provision of infrastructure that is of prime importance, but planning and designing infrastructure which takes full account of its own impact and its operational needs and use. And infrastructure must be sustainable if it is benefit coming generations and make a positive contribution to the future. Providing such infrastructure now is an investment that will pay off many times over. Sustainable infrastructure design is not just about new infrastructure, it's about rehabilitation, reuse, or optimization of existing infrastructure, which is consistent with the principles of urban sustainability and global sustainable development. This encompasses infrastructure renewal, long-term economic analysis of infrastructure, energy use, and reduced infrastructure costs, the protection of existing infrastructure from environmental degradation, material selection for sustainability, quality, durability, and energy conservation, minimizing waste and materials, the redesign of infrastructure in light of global climate change, and the remediation of environmentally damaged soil and water. Clearly, sustainable infrastructure should lead to improve socio-economic sustainable infrastructure. Should also lead to improve socio-economic. Responsible design needs to balance social, economic, and environmental issues. Ladies and gentlemen, an infrastructure action plan for Nigeria is in a way of closing the infrastructural gap and accelerating economic transformation. It is part of efforts aimed at enabling our leaders to strengthen the knowledge base in Nigeria's infrastructure sector. This knowledge base will serve the following purposes. One, it will provide the government with a master plan for the rehabilitation of infrastructural assets and recovery in infrastructural services in Nigeria in the decade ahead. Two, it will contribute to the ongoing high-level policy dialogue on infrastructure and economic infrastructure transformation in Nigeria. It will serve as a framework to intensify engagement with the international community on infrastructure in connection with the transformation agenda. And lastly, it will provide a solid platform on which a strategy for possible investors and other donor operations in Nigeria can be built on. Infrastructure renewal program, if well managed, can stimulate economic growth, reduce poverty levels, bring about employment opportunities, and improve public finances, which will eventually lead to considerable growth in GDP. It is therefore the objective of this seminar to enlighten our members, governments, and other stakeholders in the youth sector on the blueprint of economic recovery of the nation through infrastructural renewal programs. Consequently, our choice of citizen facilitators felicitates us on this all-important topic. It is to this effect that we have thoughtfully and meticulously selected a theme and sub-theme that will be beneficial to all in the youth sector and government at various levels. The theme is infrastructure renewal programs, a roadmap to economic recovery, with the following sub-themes. The economic justification of the railway commercial hub in Nigeria by our most revered Mr. Timothy Kalanga. Road infrastructure development and its contribution to the security system in Nigeria by our own also revered Dr. Ahmed Abuja, MNI. The role of SSW and valuable infrastructure development by ESP, Dr. Emmanuel Mark, FNIDS. Other speakers we are expecting in this seminar, the Senator Dr. Abdul Buhari, Chairman State Committee on Land Transportation. Honorable Tajudeen Abbas, Chairman House Committee on Land Transport. The keynote address shall be delivered by Mr. Babajide Raji Fashola, SAS, Honorable Minister of Work and Housing. Once he is around, or his relative will let you know. And the lead speaker is Right Honorable Rotimi Amici, that is the Honorable Minister of Transportation. I urge you therefore to pay rapt attention to all our speakers so as to glean as much as you can from their wealth of knowledge. Thank you very much. God bless you.
We can do better than that, ladies and gentlemen. Please round of applause for him, distinguished noble colleague. Thank you, Chairman Mcpd of the Unity Branch. Your Excellencies, I've been told that I should introduce myself. Very sorry. My name is Niesv from the Akilebe region, the only MC that is an ESV. It's a round of applause for me if you're not angry with me. Thank you very much. Straight away, I want to invite the Chairman in session, past president of this great institution, Chairman Board of Trustees of this great institution, one man that you can never miss him in any gathering of business surveyors and valuers. Your Excellencies, distinguished noble colleagues, a round of applause for SS Surveyor and Valuers, Sir Chief Emeka Honora, the past president of our institution, also our Chairman in session, Ochedo, as the official he gives. The one, let's go to one.
Good morning, noble colleagues, distinguished invited guests. On behalf of the branch, I'd like to thank for the late starting of this program. You know, we are in very trying times with the issue of pandemic, COVID pandemic that is ravaging the whole world. And so many members would rather go online and become physically to avoid possible infections. But by God's grace, nobody that is in this hall will have anything to do with COVID in Jesus' name. My past president, I salute you. Please, someone before sitting. Your past president, please. Okay. Well, as professionals, we operate in a dynamic society, and it requires us to continue to learn. It's a lifelong learning process for every profession, and that is why all professionals have mandatory professional development programs. And the NIE is a leading profession in this country. So we are here to get further knowledge on issues pertaining to infrastructure renewal program in the country. I'm glad to note that the MD of Nigerian Railway is here. If there is anything the present government is doing very well, that they can have a bragging right in the revolution that is going on in the railway sector. So I'm sure we will get more insight to what the government is doing. Unfortunately, a lot of our infrastructure is not in a very good state. The roads, electricity, water. As a little child, as a young person in the early 70s in Lagos, we had the public water outlets where you can go and fetch water. We had the home booths in strategic corners of Lagos. We had post office boxes also in strategic. But over time, all these things have disappeared. Most of us will build a house, will put a borehole because there is no public means. Something that we took for granted years back. So a lot of things have gone wrong, and unfortunately, due to the nature of the economy, we are not able to. The government is not able to provide all this. That's why many of us are providing those services that ought to be provided by government. Well, I'm not going to replace those who are going to lecture us. My own is to organize and ensure that things are done very well, and also to make sure that we finish this program on time so that we can go back to our respective offices. On this note, I want to thank all of you who made our time to come for this event. And I'm sure you'll go back and breathe at the end of the program. I thank you, and I will now yield back to the MC to go on to the rest of the program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our chairman in session. Ochendo one. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, noble colleagues, if you have the program with you, you will find that our keynote speaker is here to join us.
the chairman, board of trustee of my institution, Chief Emeka Mora, past president of our institution, Roland Bonta, council member present, the chairman of Abuja branch, action chairman, Lansa, the second vice president is represented by my own brother, all the council members here present, fellow associates, distinguished speakers for today. Thank you, greetings from our president, the 24th president, Justice Obiang Balua, Emmanuel Okaswiki, who is unavoidably absent, who is in town, is visiting the National Assembly to ensure the progress of his profession. Indeed, beginning the voice of Justice Obiang Balua, Emmanuel Okaswiki from me, and the same face of Justice Obiang Balua, Emmanuel now. He has asked me to congratulate the Abuja branch, actually the action chairman, and his untiring committee, led by our own Justice Obiang Balua, who have put together this Mcpd program. And in fact, couldn't have had it at a better time than now. The subject infrastructural renewal program, the roadmap for economic recovery. Considering the contemporary economic situation, the President has said this is the right time to discuss on this infrastructural renewal as we have it in the country now. And indeed, with what he has seen on the program, the speakers, lecturers, he said he has no doubt in his mind that they are going to do justice to this topic, especially the justification and the contribution of the railway commercial hub, the importance of the infrastructure, and the contribution of the security system, which is going to be handled by one of the security experts. And on the other hand, the role of Justice Obiang Balua in the infrastructural renewal program. The service to inform the gathering, that to please listen attentively, contribute effectively, ask questions towards the progress of our profession, and to see to it that the conflict that will be arising from this program will be something that will elicit interest of the country. On this note, I want to wish you happy celebration of the program. Thank you. Who are the rapporteurs? I didn't hear you mention the names of the rapporteurs. Very important. How are you doing? Who are the rapporteurs? They're already seated. You should acknowledge them because the work they are doing is very, very important. So that we know the people working for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Chairman, the session, sir. Please, can you send, let me have the rapporteurs, please, so I can recognize them properly. He has been writing since, I know very well. Thank you very much. Please, again, a round of applause for the representative of the president of our great institution, Justice Obiang Balua, Emmanuel Alao. We call him chairman in minutes. It's nice seeing you, sir. You're welcome, sir. Your Excellencies, distinguished noble colleagues, to read the citation of our first speaker, Mr. Timothy Zaranga, the Managing Director of Railway Properties Management Company Limited, is our very own Justice Obiang Balua Pusho Bikule.
The chairman in session, all protocols duly observed. I'm confident that I can stand on the existing protocol. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, noble colleagues, good morning. It is my honor and privilege
to introduce to us Mr. Timothy Dalanga. Our first speaker holds an MSc in Logistics, Supply Chain Management from Cranfield University in the United Kingdom. He also has an MBA in Finance. He holds a bachelor's degree in Computer Science from Abuja, Bauchi. He's a professional to the core. Our first speaker today is a member of the Nigerian Institute of Management, Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply, Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, Computer Society of Nigeria, Institute of Operation Research of Nigeria. Mr. Timothy is a renowned private sector expert. He has over 30 years experience in strategic planning. He started his career as a lecturer. From the academics, in HCB Bauchi, he went into private practice. He also has interest in public service. He became the MD of the Railway Property Management Company of Nigeria in 2019. Before becoming the MD, he was the director in the corporation. He was in charge of developing strategic plans for the corporation, as well as overseeing 3 divisions, namely policy and planning, including monitoring and evaluation, procurement and research, health and safety, and also IT. Our first speaker today is not a political appointee as managing director. He rose to become managing director. His interest in public service was what made him to go into public service by joining the railway company. As I mentioned earlier, he is a lover of professionals, and that is evident in appointing an estate surveyor and valuer as one of his personal assistants. I think we should give him a round of applause.
Who is that? Follow the other side. Who is that?
And place emphasis on professionalism. And since he's in a property company, he appointed an estate surveyor and a registered surveyor as one of his personal assistants. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to invite for the lecture Mr. Timothy A. Dalanga, a man that is well traveled. In the course of his official duty and private life, he has traveled to very many countries in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished people for this, I present once again Mr. Timothy Dalanga.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Permit me to please stand on the existing protocol which has been already established. Let me also quickly say that perhaps I'm very lucky in making this presentation even before my honorable minister arrived. So I'll be much more free to discuss issues. And maybe a bit restricted that my minister has been there. So probably I'm the cause of why the minister is not here. Is there any way I can have the slides?
As possible. So that I can see. Hello, please. Are you on system? Yeah, let me share this. Just share this file I sent for you now. Share it right now, please. It's okay, like this thing. You might need to put it like if you will not be able to meet up again. Don't worry, just go share it now.
Okay, so if the slides is ready, we can have it all. I hope you can all see me and hear me. Okay.
Is it this one?
Okay, before the slides come up, I've been asked to actually talk about the economic justification of the railway commercial hub in Nigeria under the theme of this meeting, which is infrastructure renewal program, a roadmap for economic recovery. I have decided to just present some of my thoughts in the course of discussing this point. I will not want to be academic about it. I want to be as practical as possible so that we can actually discuss the issue and provoke some thoughts in the course of what is happening in the infrastructure activity within the country.
The one I okay. Try. Okay.
Okay.
Please, is it okay like this?
Yeah, you can put the show.
What did you want to now? Okay, this one should be. Slide. Just expand it. Yes. Yes, expand it. You know, this is Zoom. It's on Zoom.
Okay.
If you want,
I think if you have a copy of the brochure,
I'll be scrolling it down.
The part of the presentation of the brochure. So let me quickly talk about some of the discussion points that I would like to speak at this morning, very briefly. By way of introduction, I will be talking about some of the hard realities of today, which has led to the economic challenges and the economic downturn. I will also talk about the public infrastructure as a driver for economic recovery. And I will talk about the railway infrastructure. I will look at also discuss a little bit about railway as a commercial hub. Then I will talk about other commercial opportunities within the railway sector. And I will talk about the Nigerian Railway Modernization Program and some of the opportunities that may be open to private sectors like your institute. And I would like to conclude at that point. So let me quickly mention by some of the economic or the realities or hard realities of today. Next slide, please. We know that in recent years, we have actually seen a huge upset in the oil industry. which has been something that has recorded in history. Last year, we at some point were looking for who would buy our oil, and it became a major challenge. And you know, Nigeria, we are so dependent we have been dependent on oil. And this is one huge hard reality that we have to face as a nation. The second issue, which is also needed, talking about the oil industry, is a green recovery issue that was globally. The global world has been focused on electric cars and higher emission charges, which is actually discouraging the use of oil globally. In most countries now, they have set targets themselves that in the next 5 years, they will not be producing cars that will be using diesel or petrol. It has to be electric cars. In the UK now, they have already had the target. In certain countries, they have already set higher charges for high emission charges, where once you drive into those zones, you have automatically higher charges for payment on the carbon CO2 emissions. So these are some of the hard realities that we have to live with, and we have to look at how do we actually look at those challenges, how do we come out of it. We are also quite familiar with the global COVID-19 disaster that has befallen us globally, and most companies, most countries are looking for ways that they will address this challenge. And as of today, we're talking about new normal. Businesses are no longer what they used to be, and they will also have to be proactive about this hard reality. We also have the issue of increasing poverty index, particularly in Africa. The poverty index is actually rising rather than coming down, which is a hard reality that we have to deal with today. We also, of course, that is leading to growing unemployment, which we know. Almost every household now, apart from security, the next challenge is unemployment. Even from the high to the low, everybody has one graduate or the other that is actually waiting to be employed. We have backlog of employment that ranges back for 5-10 years for people who have been out of school and there's no job for them. Of course, the challenge of insecurity, most businesses will not thrive. Most businesses have to close shop because the insecurity will not allow them to run those businesses. If you are in places like Kaduna, where I come from, if your business or school is actually within the outskirts of the city, you have to be thinking of closing those businesses and schools, which is a reality that we have to face and we're facing today. We also have an issue of declining affordability in the informal sector. We know that Nigeria, the informal sector accounts for over 80% of our economy, but even that informal sector is no longer affordable. People that used to now at least expand their akara business, their masa business, they are now shrinking because they can no longer afford, to support that huge sector that has been contributing to our economy. Of course, everybody has been talking about huge infrastructure deficit, the state of our road, the state of the railway, the state of our social infrastructure, like the school, the hospitals, things that is not to every one of us. Of course, underlying all this issue is the political uncertainty. That each time there is a cycle of 4-year election, we're actually confused what to do. Businesses have to stop, not knowing what will happen in the next regime. Continuity is an issue which we have to actually be facing with once there is 4-year cycle of election. So the issue is that how do we recover from all these challenges? That's some of the things that we will be looking at, because these challenges appear to be insurmountable. But we do hope in the course of this discussion, we'll be able to address or find solution or provoke our thoughts to what we need to do to address some of these challenges. So let me quickly talk about structure. You can go to the next slide, please. I don't know whether you can see it from the back. So usually public infrastructure are facilities that are necessary for the functioning of the economy and the society. Without the public infrastructure, you can hardly run effective economy, and you can hardly run any effective society. This infrastructure, there are means of supporting national economic and social activities. Usually, we can easily group infrastructure into two major groups. The economic infrastructure, which focus on things like transportation facilities, utilities, water, electricity, etc. Then you can also talk about the social infrastructure, which addresses some of the social issues like schools, the hospital, libraries, prisons, etc. So whether they are economic or they are social infrastructure, we can further group them into the hard infrastructure and the soft infrastructure. And the hard infrastructure are the physical things that we see, the road network, the rail tracks, and so on. And of course, the soft infrastructure are the services that we drive from those infrastructures. So let me quickly jump to, again, the issue, or there has been a debate about who should actually provide public infrastructure or general infrastructure in the nation. And that debate has actually occupied several institutions, several professionals have been arguing, and some come with several concepts where it is the responsibility of government to provide this infrastructure. And then some others say, no, it is not the government, others also provide. What I try to say, well, history can help us to address some of those issues, particularly in Nigeria. Government attempted to provide everything. My boss, government was actually providing the road, government is providing the railways, government was providing the school, government is providing the hospitals. But you know that the end result is what we find today. We have roads that we cannot fly on, we have schools that we cannot send our children, we have hospitals that we cannot actually patronize. But there is a general consensus, which I believe that as professionals here, we can also think a bit about that. The general consensus is the fact that government cannot do everything. And this is one reality that we have to face. If we have to sit the way we used to sit, waiting for government to do everything, we really cannot address this challenge. So definitely, there's a need for the private sector to be involved. And there's also the common agreement that what government needs to do is actually to provide an enabling environment for private sector to come in and support in the provision of this infrastructure. However, some professionals came with the PPP option, which has also been like the in thing for now. But PPP itself has its own challenges, and you have to look at PPP within the context of the reality of your environment. Environment like our political system, where the tenure of every regime is 4 years, and you know that PPP takes a long time to structure. A typical lifespan of a PPP structure is between 3 to 5 years. And you know that every political regime, they want to start a project within their tenure. And so PPP is no longer attractive to our politicians. And of course, that's the reason why PPP options are not yet explored in an economy like Nigeria. And these are things that as professionals, we have to learn our voice and see what can we contribute. How can we bring our own homemade PPP that will fit the structure in which we operate, particularly the political structure. So with this, I want to quickly talk about the railway infrastructure. Next slide. Railway infrastructure. Now, we definitely have agreed on the fact that infrastructure forms the foundation of development in any country, and transport infrastructure in particular and services play a strategic role in socio-economic development of any country. And you know the role that railway plays in any nation. Railway is a major integrator of social activities, is an economic driver. And if you look at the way our railway was structured during the colonial regime, there are two major lines: the one that runs from Lagos to Maiduguri, to Kano, and the one that runs from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, that intersection around Kapancha axis. So with that, you now see that the number of economic activities are driven along those rail lines that has actually supported our economic boom at that point. So basically, railway infrastructure brings together a conglomerate of economic activities, hence its uniqueness as an economic driver. If you look at towns like Kapancha, towns like areas like Abuja, These are actually places that were actually brought together because of railway development. So railway infrastructure is actually key in bringing activities together. But let me quickly talk about what railway activity operations is focused about. We can see the role of infrastructure. You go to the next slide. The railway service itself is predominantly focused on one, availability, two, reliability, and three, safety. So everything that you want to do within railway sector must revolve about these key drivers. You must ensure that your services is available at all time. When you go to Idu, the train must be there on time. Reliability and safety. Of course, just a few weeks ago, we had a major incident when the train actually, the safety operation was compromised, and that brought a lot of scare to the national society. And these are issues that railway focuses in. And of course, kudos to the railways. You saw that within the space of 72 hours, the service was restored and security and safety was restored as well. So to achieve all this, you need a functional infrastructure. You cannot talk about availability, reliability, and safety when you don't have an effective and functional infrastructure. So infrastructure is very key as a major requirement to support rail or train operation anywhere in the world. That's why in other economies, government always supports the rail operation, but making sure that they inject a lot of funds to always revive, remodernize the railway infrastructure. If you think of the city of London, imagine if the underground system stops for a whole day. London would be chaos. There will be a lot of chaos all across. And this is because the whole society depends on that service. And so the government kept pumping a lot of funds to ensure that the rail operation, the infrastructure is updated and upgraded. So if you go to the next slide as well, again, just underscoring the need for infrastructure to support the railway operation. You could see, next slide, please. Next slide. Now, again, I just want you to see the complexity of the rail operation. And of course, for the customer, all you need is render the train and see you move from point A to point B. But before that service is provided, there are lots of network of complex activities that will all integrate together to provide that service. The first is that, of course, you have to have a track network, which is on the line within the station, crossing station, all our requirements are running effective rail system. You also have the signaling and telecommunication system. This is a scenario where that allows you to run several trains on one line. For instance, the Abuja line, you can run as many as, we are running 10 trains now in a day. You can run slightly more than that on a single track. The reason why you are able to achieve that without collision, without having incidents, because you have what is called the signaling and telecommunication that support your crossing, that support your communication at all points. Beyond that, you also have the rolling stock. You have the locomotive, you have the coaches, you have the wagons, you have the stations, all together a network of activities that actually will be required to support our rail operation. Now, but the issue is that, again, behind all this is the major requirement of infrastructure. Without the adequate infrastructure, once the signaling system is down, all your train services will go down. Once the track is affected, your services will go down. Once the locomotive is affected, your services go down. So all this together will have to work together to ensure that the effective, adequate infrastructure is provided to support your rail operation. Next slide, please. So basically, railway asset or infrastructure also can be grouped into movable assets and immovable assets. The movable assets are those ones that you see rolling, let's call them rolling stock. The locomotive is the engine that drives the coaches and the wagons. These are things that move. You have the coaches also, they can roll over. You have a lot of vehicle inspection to run effective kind of operation. The immovable asset, and the fixed asset that cannot be removed. For instance, the station unit, once you build the station, it remains there. The tracks are always there, you cannot move them. The quarries where you get your ballast, you cannot move them. So that is the way we categorize railway asset and infrastructure, just for the information of participants. Next slide, please. Now, let me quickly talk about railway as a commercial hub, which is part of the topic that is given to discuss. Like I said, opportunities for commercial activities within the railway stations are usually due to the following. Number one, railway stations are often at the heart of urban cities. In the heart of the city is where you find railway stations. If you go to Lagos, Utameta is in the heart of Lagos. If you go to Kano, the Kano station is in the heart of that city. And so the same thing with all over London, the London station, King Cross, Victoria Station, they are all in the heart of the cities. In fact, where they are not, I will give an example. When the Abuja Kaduna line was constructed and the stations were put at Iju and Rigasa, and I know the comment that Nigerians said particularly about Rigasa, because Rigasa is not a notorious area, people thought that no, there's no way people can board the train from Rigasa. But if you go to Rigasa today, Rigasa is totally turned around. It's now each activity, people want to do business there. And then you could see the drive that the railways bring in terms of wherever you place the railway, that's where the development can go. If you look at the Ibadan, Lagos Ibadan now, the Ibadan station is placed at Monia. Monia now, for you to access Monia, it will take you over 1 hour from the central city of Ibadan to Monia. But I can bet you within the next 2 years, and in fact now we are so much blocked by people coming for different proposals to develop Monia. And that's what railway development can bring, and the railway infrastructure can bring. It actually brings activities together. The second major point is that you see the railway stations, unlike the motor parks, the motor park is only what is reserved for only the less privileged people that will go to the motor park and board motor from maybe Abuja to Kaduna. Then you don't have really the elites. Or if you, on the other hand, if you look at the airports, the less privileged do not actually patronize the airline. So you don't have the poor in the airports. But railway stations actually put together both the less privileged and the elites together, because every one of them can afford. If you cannot afford a business class ticket, you can afford an economy ticket, and we all go together. So there are a lot of huge activities that bring everybody together in a railway station than in any other mode of transportation. That is the uniqueness of a railway operation, a driver to commercial activity and a commercial hub. And of course, like I said, new stations drive new development opportunities. At any time, you always, once you have a new station, you have new opportunities. You have opportunities for hotels, you have opportunities for banks, you have opportunity for shops, you have opportunity for different other activities. And that's actually a kind of commercial hub that brings back or recovery plan for economy that is already getting down. So like I said, typical railway hub encompasses all sorts of commercial activities, from the formal to informal businesses such as markets, shopping malls, retail stores, hotels, banks, restaurants, offices, showrooms, etc. And construction of modern railway stations have since moved from traditional stations to mega stations. What I mean here is that some years back, when you go to a railway station, you see is actually a ticketing office and small other offices for all the operational staff. But nowadays, development of railway station has since moved from that concept to a mega business outlet. Any mega station, a railway station in the world, is now a center of commercial activity where you see everything come together. So please let me show you some of the few examples of some of those such stations. Next slide, please. I would prefer you a bit faster so that we can. Now, this is a station, a railway station at Western Beijing, China. Next slide, please. This is another railway station at Sydney Central Station in Australia. You can see you can't even see any sign of any ticketing office, but you can see a lot of modern activities going on in such stations. Next slide, please. This is Rotterdam Central Station in Netherlands, railway station.
Next slide.
Next slide. This is another one in New York. Next slide, please. Now, this is an interesting one. This is a project in India that is actually coming up with a major project of turning a railway station into a modern city. They call it Railpolis project in India, whereby you can see all manner of housing estates, all manner of commercial activities built around the railway station to encourage commercial activities. Next slide, please. Now, this might be familiar to almost all of us. This is our station here in Nigeria. So this is our commercial hall center, where economic activities can actually take place. All right, next slide, please. However, this is where we are today. This is where we are today. Mobolaji Johnson railway station in Lagos is a pride to all of us. And whether you are a critic to this government or not, you will have to respect for bringing us to. If you look at the previous slide to where we are, I think it's something that we should be proud of. And as we speak today, there are lots of all the businesses around Lagos wants to move near that major station. And within the next 5 years, one of the things that Lagos State House also look at is how to expand the road network there, because activity there will be so huge that it may cause other challenges like traffic challenges and so on. But at least we should be proud that if our government at least is focusing and investing in infrastructure like this, at least we have hope for this country. Next slide, please. So I want to quickly talk about other opportunities that exist in the rail sector for the benefit of most of the private sector participants here. Now, apart from conventional commercial activities that usually, happens around the railway stations, there are a lot of other opportunities that exist within the railway industry. We usually call them the alternative revenue streams, which we focus on things that are not directly related to ticketing or train operation. And these opportunities are usually open to both public and private sector. And I believe that you will be interested in those opportunities so that you can see where you can tap in those opportunities. Please, next slide. Now, I want to quickly talk about some of those opportunities. We usually group them into like 3 categories. The first category is actually property-based revenue streams. They are actually opportunities that directly relate to your institute and every one of you as a professional. How do you tap on this property-based revenue opportunity that exists within the railways? And this is usually because traditionally, railways all over the world, they own a lot of landed assets. And those assets have always been seen as dormant assets, which now people are waking up to this reality that you can actually build a lot of economic activities within those landed areas that are not directly utilized for railway operation. So property-based opportunities are there. And there is also the other opportunities for what do you call it? Yes, other asset opportunities. Again, the telecom industries also have a lot of opportunities within the railway industries. Over the past 5 years, we had to deal with a number of telecom companies wanting to come and lay their fiber cables along the track lines, erecting their masts all over. These are things that we have not explored in the past, but now we have opportunity. Not only the fiber cables, power cables can go along the track lines, water cables can go along the track lines. These are huge opportunities that were not tapped before. We have other service-based opportunities, which usually come in the form of recreational facilities, on-board services, you have on-board catering, you have on-board internet service that you can provide, on-board adverts that is open to both public and private sector to tap in. Next slide, please. If you categorize these opportunities as high or low potential, you can see that based on the revenue services, we found out that landed property development and commercialization is actually a huge revenue potential that is yet to be tapped. We have worked out the numbers, and the numbers are actually mind-boggling to see that the opportunities that can be tapped or simply converting the dormant landed property into commercial assets. Station remodeling and commercialization, which I'm going to show some of the slides. Construction and commercialization of multi-dock systems along the rail corridor. I've mentioned that. Sales of metal scrap. This is actually converting dormant assets into real assets. Because, for instance, the track, they have the iron of the track, they have a lifespan. Once the lifespan is actually expired or they are above, you actually throw them away. Most of the smelting and steel companies are now eyeing those scrap materials. Huge revenue which we make all our iron rods that we use for construction. Advertisements along both the mobile, you can go to inside the coaches. Most of the coaches now are plain, but there are opportunities that adverts can be placed both within and outside the coaches, as well as within the station areas as well. So these are several other opportunities that we have within the railway sector which can be harnessed. The next slide, I try to just work out the numbers, some of the potential. When we sat down and work out the numbers, we discovered that our over-dependence on federal government annual budget is actually can be reduced by exploring some of those potential. And once we look at the fact that we can realize 50% of what government is giving us just by converting some of those opportunities into assets that can support the railway system. So that's what the next slide is all about. Quickly, the other slide. Next one, please. Talk about this. Next. Just go straight to the ones with the pictures.
Okay. That's the number.
You have a problem with your mouse?
Yeah, it's the network, sir.
recreational facilities the way it was before, but now it has been converted to a slightly more comfortable recreation center.
Yeah, okay.
If you go to Abuja later, at the Apapa Road outside the railway compound, you will see this new modern recreational center there. Entire Abuja later constrained area now, at least go there every evening to enjoy their company within that modernized recreational center. Next one, please. Okay, I will quickly talk about the general railway modernization program. We already know that as of today, we run the Abuja Kaduna standard gauge line. We are running the Lagos Ibadan standard gauge line. We are running the Itabe Warri standard gauge line. And again, when we were putting the numbers for the Abuja Kaduna line some 5 years back, we actually ran all the numbers and we said we concluded that it's no longer going to be commercially viable to run Abuja Kaduna line because it's just about 187 kilometers. And by all economic indices, you work out, you cannot break even. But there is one factor that we never considered at that time. That is security. And when security challenges came, every of our calculations changed. The dynamics have changed. And now you could now see, before we introduce the fifth service, you know how much ticket racketeering actually thrive because the seats are not available. Everybody wants to go by that line. The same thing Lagos to Ibadan. We thought actually people would not pass, but as we go today, you have to book quite ahead before you get the seat for that services. Now, government is still working on other services. Government is actually reconstructing the entire Port Harcourt Maiduguri line. Government is also completing the Ibadan axis to link it up to Kano. Already work has commenced from Kano joining to the Kaduna line. So very in the next 1-2 years, you will run from Abuja up to Kano, and then maybe in the next 3-4 years, you can run from Lagos to Kano on the same standard gauge line. These are some of the problems. And also the same Itabe Warri line is being linked to Abuja here. So you can actually ride a train from Abuja up to Warri. You link it up to the same one going to Kano. So from Warri, you can go up to Kano, from Kano, go up to Warri. These are some of the projects that government is focusing on working on. So next slide. Now, this is one of the, again, the modern train service that you have. Of course, 7 years back, nobody would have thought that we'll have this kind of service in Nigeria. But this is actually, a train service. This is a first-class train that you have now, even on the Abuja line, and you can compete in terms of comfort anywhere in the world. Next slide, please. This network is really affecting us. Again, this is the inside of one of the coaches. This is actually the canteen coach that we have. Move to the next slide, please. Next one, please.
Okay.
Now, this is a conference coach. Now, a meeting like this, you can actually arrange it on the train. You can have, a whole conference coach where you can have all the conference facilities with speakers and all that. We still have it now as we speak in Nigeria. So if you want for your next meeting, you can hire one and you can hold your conference. Next one, please. Next one, please.
Okay, sir.
Next. Yes. Now, all these are not without challenges. The challenges of developing such hubs are very, very plenty. The first major challenge, as we all know, is the funding challenge. Where would the fund come from? And I will actually want to conclude at this point, when I come to that point. The second challenge is the fact that, the banks, if you go to the banks, they don't give actually long-term loans. You usually get loans that are within the 10 years thereabouts. But to be able to put this infrastructure, you actually need like 50 years, 70 years loan that will support this infrastructure development. But our banks cannot provide that. We also have, of course, challenges of collaboration. And I don't know whether it's cultural or I don't know what the issue is. If you look at it even from our smaller businesses, nobody wants to join together and make a better business. Everybody wants to do his own thing, his own way. The same thing between federal government and state government. There's no major collaboration between what the federal government is doing and what the the state governments are doing in this infrastructure development for the railways. And this is a huge challenge that is affecting the speed of development for the delivery of these requirements. And of course, we also have the challenge of all commerce affairs. Once you see a business is thriving in Nigeria, everybody suddenly becomes an expert in that area. And that's where we have the challenge. So I think we must have to find a way of focusing and restricting some of this to the core professionals whose business are meant to develop and provide these services. Next slide. So let me begin to conclude because my time, I believe, is off. So my final thoughts. Is we have already established that infrastructure development, in particular rail infrastructure, remains a major economic driver. And railway remains a major intermodal hub for transport and commercial activities, hence its role as a major economic driver. It is my considered opinion, therefore, that the vast landed and land owned by the railway can be utilized to support the economic complete plan of the government. And of course, the efforts of the government in developing commercial activities within the railway hub is a step in the right direction. And the private sector, therefore, must explore and align themselves with the government's effort in order to tap the economic potentials of the railway hubs. In particular, the estate valuers and developers, estate valuers, need to be more proactive in taking a leading role in this drive. The Institute, therefore, has come up with a more collaborative ways of working with government to be able to explore this potential. So in conclusion, I said, while some of the critics have accused the government of huge borrowing to provide such needed infrastructure, but in my own view, the debate is not about the borrowing. It's a decision we have to make. Do we want to remain where we were, or we want to move forward? And if we want to move forward, we don't have the money, then of course you cannot challenge borrowing. I think it's better we look at that. And the economic justification for railway commercial hubs in Nigeria therefore cannot be faulted. And the federal government has already taken the right step in the right direction. I do hope that professional bodies like yours will actually rise up to this debate and come up with a position that will support government's efforts in not only developing railway commercial hubs, but railway commercial cities in Nigeria. I thank you very much for listening.
Very much. I allow you all the time to share. Very good job. Can we give them the proper floor?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. At this junction, while the former speaker was speaking, there's a very distinguished colleague of ours that came into the program, the chairman of the National Mcpd of Nigerian Institution of Justice of Judge and Valor. No other person than Justice of Judge and Valor, Otumba Pastor Victor, FNI. Please a round of applause. I'd like to really commend the last speaker. You did a very good job. It's very obvious that Nigerian Railway
system is not where we are supposed to be, or we are not where we used to be. Just like he said, whoever is the critic of the present government, with the picture and everything that he has shown us, it's obvious that a lot has been done in that sector. And we are looking forward, by the grace of God, to getting and forging ahead to where we are supposed to be and be one of the competitors of the world. So next, I'd like to also introduce the rapporteurs who were actually omitted the other time. Apology for that once again. I'd like to introduce Estes Ogan Balwa, Adewale Tobalake, ANIBS, Secretary of Mcpd Abuja branch. Round of applause for him, please. And the next thing is Estes Ogan Balwa, Olushola Olani, ANIBS, the principal partner of Shola Olani Consulting. A round of applause for him, please. There are some distinguished fellows who will give me free to actually mention in our presence today. Estes Ogan Balwa, Chudi Ubozi, FNIBS. A round of applause for him. Estes Ogan Balwa, Airstream Osegi, FNIBS. A round of applause for him. So next on our agenda for this morning is the second paper. And this paper is supposed to be taken by Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audu, MNI, the Commander General of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. In standing in for him today is the Deputy Commandant General Technical Services of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, in person of Engineer Kodri Saladin Adigo. Please, a round of applause for him. Sorry, before you come to the podium, to introduce you to the podium is Estes Ogan Balwa, Adewale Tobalake, to read the citation.
The chairman is section. All other protocol duly observed. My job here is to introduce our next speaker, who is actually the Commandant General of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Dr. Ahmed of PhD, MNI. Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audi, MNI, was born in the family of Sulaiman Audi.
Distinguished noble colleagues and invited guests. Mr. Sahanja, who just gave us a speech on the area of interest, is about what to and that ask him to just give us a few minutes so that our members can ask some questions. Our apologies to the civil defense who take your paper immediately after the question.
Hello? Hello? Yeah, they take lights. They are working on it now.
So, colleagues, we have 10 minutes for the question and answer in respect of this particular presentation. So, starting from my left, anybody there who has a question? Second, okay. Third person. How about that row? Anybody? Let's have your hand. Then the last row. Question or comment? Okay, please take the mic to my brother at the bottom.
Thank you, Chairman of Board of Trustees and Chairman of State for this all-important MCPD. I have a number of worries to express, and I'm happy that our MD is still seated. Can you hear that talk is in the eye, as I'm told? First is the fact that I'm just wondering, do we really have the wherewithal in terms of integrity, technical know-how, manpower, to run an efficient rail system in Nigeria? The modernization is not a problem, but the management after the modernization is what I'm worried about. Again, sir, you will agree with me that maintenance is at the center of every efficient infrastructure anywhere in the world. And of course, we boldly say that in Nigeria, we develop and wait and redevelop again. Actually, that's what is happening with railway. It's not as if railway wasn't there in the colonial days. They were there, but we ran them down. And today, the only analysis you didn't do is the cost analysis, and I know why. I won't take you there. Let's leave it for another day. Tell us what your company is doing to ensure that the modernization we have today will be maintained to compare with rail systems in UK and other developed nations, where they have recorded a century time running the system. The oldest railway in London, they are still functioning today. What is your plan, knowing that you are the property manager? Management of the entire system will definitely fall in your hands. That question I wanted to ask is about pricing. Knowing that railway is a business, and because it's a business, and for the type of investment we are making, have we been checking on viability? Fortunately, you didn't mention Madrid and all those ones. I also know why. Let's keep it for those who will discuss that. But for here, even the routes we are doing now, Lagos to Ibadan, the areas we are paying priority. Is there a document that says that if you do this now, this is where we will end in so years? And that leads me to the question: what is the payback period for the heavy investments we are making? Are we scoring political moves? Just like you said, if anybody criticizes that this government has not done anything, that when we see the railway, we should be clapping. I like clapping, but I clap for not to clap for future. I don't want to do the private land. I think I should rest.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Yes, I can see a hand behind. Introduce yourself as you ask you.
Let me try and see if I can address the last question. Can you all hear me? I think I can summarize the issue of sustainability. I think you can summarize how to say so first of all, engineers that actually got the line are the engineers that have been within the system and they resolve the line within the record time and they are meant to do them. So I can say that yes, we have the know-how, but however, like I said, there are always opportunities with training, continuous development, as you're doing here. Now, the other issue of viability and also whether there is, the payback period, if there's any study, all this that I've talked about are actually contained in what we call the 25-year railway strategic plan that was built since 2002. We might be behind schedule in terms of the timing of the activities, but actually everything is outlined in that document, and it's one of the key documents that both the Federal Ministry of Transportation, the Nigerian Railway Corporation is working to ensure that all these things are followed to the letter. It's actually a comprehensive document. It's being used in the National Infrastructure Integrated Master Plan. It is also being used in the current government midterm and long-term plan. So it sends a document, and all those things are stated there. One thing that I cannot guarantee is actually the continuity. We can talk about today, but because of what I mentioned as a challenge, the political uncertainty, there is no guarantee that I say that if another government comes tomorrow, they can continue what this government has been doing. And this is a reality. This is the issue. That's the major challenge that we really have to talk as a country. Do we really want to actually have a path that we want to follow? We want to always go back and discuss the political point. That's the issue. And it runs across all other development programs as well, which I cannot actually speak about the politician. I'm not actually the authority of government. But I know that at least the document which next government and subsequent government can come, and if they work on this document, we can get to where we are going to get. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, my noble colleague. My name is Niesv. You mentioned about the rail system, which cannot provide society to bloodstream of any economy. Thank God, recently the government has placed a lot of emphasis on improving, system. But what I want to find out that you talked about the commercialization. How sincere is the NRC engaging with private people? Are we going to go through rigorous processes of getting licenses and how, like in the oil sector, when you want to get a license or whatever, exploration or whatever, it's a long, difficult process. So is NRC willing to be flexible in allowing private participation, especially in the advert, those other assets that are lying idle? Thank you very much.
Okay, yes. Let me also quickly say that 90% of the leases that has been granted, by the railways is actually to the private sector, 90% of the leases. And over the time, there has been short-term leases and long-term leases. So it's a system that is open to as many as actually are interested. The particular one that you raised in terms of the dormant assets, I'll give an example of the metal scrap. I know that the metal scrap for the past 2 times that has been open to the general public, it has actually went into the normal rigorous procurement process. An advert was placed in the national newspaper. The criteria were placed, and in fact, they had to shrink the criteria to now, because people are abusing that process because of the incentive there. It has to be restricted to only steel companies that are operating within Nigeria. And the last scrap that was sold to one camp steel industry, which I think they have used about 3 years to be able to evaluate what they have resolved, and they have been producing and selling to So I can say, as of today, most of those processes go through the normal procurement process, which is open to most Nigerians. The key business development that we are doing, again, 95% of them are being handled by private sector. So it's an open, it's there for every Nigerian to participate.
Thank you, Mr. Zalanga. It's a pleasure having you today. You really did well in your presentation. I'm sure we have a lot. We can go back home and in our private moment look into and get more insight to the infrastructure, education, the railway commercialization in Nigeria. On this note, I'd like to make a presentation to you on behalf of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors and Graduates. Where is the camera? On behalf of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors and Graduates, Unity Branch, I'd like to give you this flag in commemoration of your lecture today. Foundation, sir. Also, the color, and that goes with the flag. Thank you. Okay, are you okay? So let's go to the next paper. Thank you very much.
All right, so I'm here to read the profile of the Commander General, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audi, PhD, NNI. Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audi, MNI, was born in the family of Sulaiman Audi, an Islamic clergy in Laminga town of Nasarawa, local government of Nasarawa State, on 30th September 1967. He's a seasoned and housing educationalist with profound and uncommon achievements in policy formulation, strategic reaffirmation, and policy analysis, with emphasis on security and enforcement of law and order. His educational training, which spanned through Government Teachers College, Jegri, Plateau State, and College of Education in Abuja, Nasarawa State, respectively, forms his foundational background as a leader and a strategist. Dr. Howdy holds 2 bachelor degrees in physical and health education and public administration from Ahmadu Bello University Zaire and University of Calabar, respectively. He also possesses 2 master's degrees in law enforcement and criminal justice, as well as public administration from University of Calabar and Ahmadu Bello University Zaire. He holds a doctorate degree in public administration with specialization in public policy analysis from National State University. Dr. Howe is a member of the Senior Executive Board at the prestigious National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru Jos. This executive training provided him an effective background to steer the affairs of global organizations. Prior to his appointment as Commandant General, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Force, he rose through the ranks of divisional officer, area commander, state commander, provost of NSCDC Academy, and zonal coordinator. He is a member and fellow of many prestigious professional bodies and has attended a number of trainings both home and abroad to substantiate and appreciate more effective deliverance of duty to the people of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Dr. Howe's achievements within 100 days as the Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Force in fighting the upsurge of vandalism of critical national assets and infrastructure, insecurity occasioned by terrorism, insurgency, armed banditry, kidnapping, ethnic, military, ethno-religious crises, and many others in Nigeria is worthy of note. He is happily married and blessed with wonderful children, and his hobby includes table tennis, reading, and lecturing. Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audi is ably represented by Deputy Commandant General, Technical Services, Engineer Audrey Saladin Adibu. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I brief the introduce Engineer Audrey Saladin Adibu for his presentation.
Let me start like that. By the time the citation was being read, I was supposed to be at the bar, but that was on my phone. It wasn't for me. That shoe is too big for me. So I find it difficult to find it. When they are reading, where's this one? Now, it's okay. So no honor you. Thank you very much. I will start wasting time. Let's quickly go the business of the day. The speech is prepared by him. All questions will be directed to him. But I've been directed to be here today. Why did you see anything good there? Please clap for him at the other hand. If there is one fault or the other, don't put my head on the pillow and just call it. In that other note, I would say the Commandant General of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Force, Dr. Ahmed Abubakar, PhD, MNI, is unavoidably absent due to other engagements, and therefore I, Engineer Cody Saladin, acting PCC technical. I was introduced as the PCC. So I am acting in the capacity of the PCC. By rank, I'm an assistant commandant general, just assisting the commandant general. The topic for the commandant general to deliver is road infrastructure development and contribution to the security system in Nigeria. The security and going to be purely security.
For a clearer picture of this topic of discussion, permit me to approach the topic and break it down into three subtopics. The NSCDC and security system in Nigeria, component of road infrastructure, the role of NSCDC in securing road infrastructure in Nigeria, then lastly, contribution and the effect of road infrastructure development on security. Number one, NSCDC and security systems in Nigeria. There are three major security mandates and few other adjunct applications given to Nigeria security and civil defense force. The first one is protection of critical national assets and infrastructure. The CNAI, in which road infrastructure is a major asset to the sector. The second mandate for Nigeria security and civil defense force is on private car company, PGC. Their activities, including registration, licensing, training, and monitoring, are the functions that civil defense must see that they are well done. The third one is crisis and disaster management of all emergencies. The most recent assignment given to Nigeria security and civil defense force is in agro rangers, because the government realized there has been conflict between herders and farmers, and therefore agro ranger was given to defense, and we are actually handling that one too. There are other adult works when it comes to election monitoring and all other, we see civil defense in that. Component of road infrastructure. What to be secured and the role of NSCDC in securing road infrastructure in Nigeria. The NSCDC Act number 6 of 2007 as amended mandated the NSCDC to protect the following road infrastructure. The physical road network itself, the security CCTV camera on our road, you can see we have them here and we don't have them in some other places. There are reasons for that. Street lighting devices, the road traffic light, the road signs, the railroad level crossing. The last speaker spoke extensively on railway, where road network and railway means the signs that are there and how these things really come in security architecture. The culverts, the drainage, the bridges, the over and then flyover, the underpass, and the pedestrian bridges, handrails, the aluminium and the metal handrails, the manhole and the iron cover on our roads, then park and stop locations, among others. Contributions and effects of road infrastructure development for security system. From the components of the infrastructure as mentioned, if you pick the camera, the CCTV camera on the road, what are they used and how does it help in security of you, myself, and the whole public? The contribution of CCTV camera as road infrastructure is to bring about real-time monitoring of events and happenings on the road. When it is effective, improvement is noticed in quick identification of suspects and witnesses. When arrest is to be made, the arrest is targeted because we have the idea of who must have committed that particular crime. In such cases, fast interrogation comes in, accelerated arraignment and prosecution, and eventually speedy judgment, which is on its own a deterrent. When crime is committed and the criminal or the suspect was able to be apprehended, it gives signals to other criminals planning to do one or two things, and on its own a deterrent. We all know, and the popular saying is that judgment delayed, judgment denied. And what is the end result of all this that we are talking about? The security environment, the secure environment and safety of life and property is the end result. The street lighting devices, development of functional street lights on our road is ensured that dark and dangerous spots are well illuminated. When there is no hidden place to commit crime, then peaceful and secured environment will be in place. The road manholes and the covers we see on them is another component of our infrastructure on our roads. Whenever and wherever we find this component, the manhole houses the underground cables for telecommunication as well as power cables. And also, it provides smooth walk and easy drive over the manhole. The park and stop locations, the motor parks, where they are well developed, the bus stop as a place is a source of credible, is a place for source, it's a place for source of credible intelligence as well as surveillance support. The benefit of developed road infrastructure and security. Contribution of road infrastructure development and security is enormous. Develop and improve road infrastructure will ease difficulty in transportation of goods and services, which are the basic necessities for growth and development. The economic security will be guaranteed when producer is linked to the market, workers connected to the job, the sick to the hospital, students to the school, and so on and so forth. Further security. Good road infrastructure will guarantee easy control and surveillance against unauthorized immigrants, the bandits, the terrorists, and the like. Energy security is another one. Sometimes ago, Lupen said he would be going on strike because of what? He said bad road. Energy security will be guaranteed also if our roads are in good shape so that no pen will not go on strike because of that. Securing road infrastructure will improve productivity, human endeavor, improving per capita income, reducing poverty, and reducing unrest, demonstration, and protest against some of the policies of the government. A philosopher and a philosophizer in the name of McNamara said that security itself is development, and without it, there is no security. The dangers that are involved, the dangers that we encounter when on that development infrastructure is the order of the day. Food security is seriously threatened. When food supply is badly affected, when bad road infrastructure cuts off the food supply to the populace. Job security is not guaranteed when there is low productivity in many economic sectors. There will be job loss, retrenchment, and underemployment, difficulty in rescue and disaster management operations. This has been the cause during the fire outbreak incidences, road accidents, and so on and so forth. In such cases, people find it difficult, do and hard, to move these people to the nearest medical facility. Untimely death or manpower loss. Underdeveloped road infrastructure causing accidents, through which Nigerian and even trained security manpower have also been lost. Loss of manpower are. This causes lateness to workplace, added damage to businesses and security vehicles, and also traveling on bad road network, weakens the body for quick job execution. Lastly, on this particular slide, underdeveloped road is unsecure road network, and it is a base and area for highway criminals to operate. Road infrastructure abuses and vandalism. What causes them? Burning of tires on our road during protest. This is a serious form of vandalism on road infrastructure. Potholes on our roads as a result of poor maintenance, intentionally or naturally created, and these are used by non-state actors against national security. Water pipes, unauthorized breakage of road network for purposes like passing water supply from one place to another form of vandalism. Spillage of diesel that weakens our road, maybe during accident or any other thing that might have caused it. Forceful removal of handrails on our bridges by scavengers, overhead pedestrians, and damaging to lead barricades along our road are rampant, and they are all acts of vandalism. Forceful removal of manhole metal duct cover to be converted from one form of maybe actually they know how they use all this metal and what they are using it for. You will be surprised when you hear what the cover of all this manhole costs in the market. Very small amount of money, and to put them back into very costly. Overloading and the parking of every vehicles along the road. When they have one problem or the other, they are all forms of insecurity on our road. The NSCDC Act of 2003 and that of 2007 as amended enables NSCDC to secure road infrastructure. And just to summarize like this, the Miscellaneous Offences Act, the Nigerian National Security Strategic Document of 2019 specifically identified NSCDC as the frontliner and lead agency recognized by law to protect critical national assets and infrastructure. And this act enabled the organization to approach Federal High Court for activation of vandalism of CNA Act. The court has the power to charge with or without warrant, to arrest, to detain, investigate, and to prosecute. The Miscellaneous Offences Act is very tough on funders, and it has given the organization the necessary support to fight funders of road infrastructure and other CNI property. Instruments in the Miscellaneous Offences Act enable us to do that job properly. Ordinary tampering with anything declared by federal government as critical national assets and infrastructure. Once you are caught, you are tried and found guilty, there is no option of fine. Forceful removal of components of road infrastructure. The minimum imprisonment when that case must have been judged 7 years. And because of the nature of the miscellaneous offense, many organizations love to come to civil defense and give their people to us to prosecute. You know that civil defense will not go to all the other court of law that will charge you for stealing maybe solar panel on the road. And if you go and pay 300 naira when you go to 1 month imprisonment. NSCP safety strategies of protection of road infrastructure and its users. How do we do it? It has not been easy. The president of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps involves 704 local governments and added advantage for the Corps in the construction of road network nationwide. Findings have shown that the road network in Nigeria, as far as federal roads are concerned, is around 15%, while the state is having around 15%, the local road is around 7%. Our divisional officers in their offices in the 774 local government area, with the area command, the zonal and the state command, has put NSCs in the right position to effect protection of road infrastructure nationwide. Also, deployment of undercover personnel in selected areas and personnel, their deployment to identify black spots has also given us an edge about all these funders that have been disturbing our road network. Creation of rapid response squad for emergency cases. All these are the plan of action employed in protection of road infrastructure by the organization. Finally, the vision of the Commandant General in building a positive culture. Positive culture in Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, very fully aware that we don't have domestic, we don't have bad acts, we live among the people. The positive culture is expected to radiate to everyone, you and other people, such that we will create a unique identity for the organization and for the country in the security architecture of this country. Furthermore, this positive culture and unique identity has strengthened NSCDC to synergize the Federal Road Safety Corps, the Federal Road Maintenance, the FEMA, the NURT and allied organizations, as well as the communities and individuals in security issues. In conclusion, sir, a well-developed road infrastructure is an important tool to improve security and safety of lives and property. Thank you. Thanks.
Please, we can do better than that. A round of applause for him. Thank you very much. While we wait for our chairman in session to the way and manner our speaker gave us the disclaimer. So should we say that we should clap for the Oga at the top? Please, can we clap for the Oga at the top, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Please, before we go to the next paper presentation, we've been sitting down here for the past 2 hours. Please, can we just rise up on our feet? It's not time for praise and worship. Then let's just stretch our body. It's normal that you sat down. The flow of blood in your system needs to go around. Some people are already bending their head in the way as if they're praying. It's the weather. So can you just stand up, just try and move your body a little bit, sit down for like 2 hours. I cannot understand why fellows are standing, so professionals are sitting down and associates. Can you just move your body a little bit and just move your legs so that the flow of blood in your body can be total. Thank you very much. Please round of applause for yourself. You can be seated. Thank you very much. Those of us that are used to going to seminars and attending conferences, it's very important that you know that when you sat down for more than 1 hour, you try as much as you can to straighten your legs and move around so that the flow of blood in your body. You're wearing a smart suit, tell you. The Excellencies, distinguished noble colleague, at this point we've listened to the Managing Director of Railway Management. We also listened to our Oga at the top of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. This time around, we are bringing it home. And to do justice to this topic, the role of estate surveyors and valuers in infrastructure development is our very own. The latest estate surveyor and valuer, there is a doctor, one man whose meteoric rise gives hope to
most of us young surveyors, a man that is like a beacon of hope to a lot of us. He's a mentor to me personally, a man that is making me read a lot of books recently. Well, to read the citation of our next speaker is as a surveyor and valuer, Janet Shehu, Deputy Registrar of SBABO, as a Surveyors and Valuers Registrar Board of Nigeria. Please a round of applause for her as she comes up. You're welcome.
The citation of PhD, Dr. Emmanuel Mark. PhD Dr. Emmanuel Mark, as a chartered surveyor of value, environmental consultant, senior right of way practitioner, and a lawyer. Emmanuel Mark is a diverse team of over 25 and peak estate surveyor, valuer, and environmental consultants representing various interests in the real estate, environmental, and right-of-way consultancy area of practice. Respected by his colleagues for his problem-solving skills, Emmanuel possesses a singular ability to empower colleagues and create a cooperative team. In 2004, he became the founding partner of Mark and Partners. Along the way, he has served as the National Publicity Secretary of the Nigeria Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers and member of Professional Practice Committee of Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria. He was the president of International Right of Way, Iowa, Chapter 84, Nigeria in 2018. As president, Chapter 84, Nigeria became the first chapter outside the US and Canada to have won the GL Land Award for the highest percentage growth in membership in 2019. Sir Emmanuel Mark was designated as Senior Right of Way Practitioner, the first member of Chapter 84 Nigeria and only Africa to be designated SRWA is the premier international right of way designation reflecting evidence of professional accomplishments in the right of way profession. It is granted that professionals who have achieved professional status through experience, education, and examination. On the 6th of February 2020, Sir Mark was elevated as Fellow of the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, London. This also demonstrates its individual professional achievements and is a measure of excellence. Sir Emmanuel Mark also belongs to other allied professional associations like International Real Estate Federation, (IAPSI), the Commonwealth Association of Surveying and Land Economics, (BASU), Nigerian Bar Association, (MBD), African Bar Association, (AFBA), and International Bar Association, among others. Emmanuel Mark studied at the River State University of Science and Technology, now River State University, Port Harcourt, where he earned a second-class honors degree in estate management in 1999. He later earned an MPhil in environmental management and LLB law 2010 from the same university. He has presently completed his PhD in environmental management from the Ignatius Ajuru University of Education, Port Harcourt University. He successfully attended real estate executive seminar, urban development, design and construction in Harvard Business School, June 2014, and the real estate management program, design and leadership of the Harvard University Graduate School of Design in October 2014. Today, in addition to his corporate responsibility,
My Mark takes great pleasure at community service as a participated in the membership of the Rotary family since 1996. He is one of the first Africans to be inducted as member of the AXI Club Society of Rotary International. AXI Club Society members are people of immense generosity to Rotary International. In 2016, His Royal Highness Okuru, please pardon me, Michael JP honored Emmanuel Mark with the chieftaincy title of Okebode of Afon Kingdom. The significance is that the son of River State is today at Ologun in Koko Village in Eto East local government of Delta State. Emmanuel Mark is a devout Christian and a knight of St. Christopher of the African Communion and a justice of peace of the River State government. Sir Emmanuel Mark is humble and ever willing to learn irrespective of his personal view, opinion, and academic qualifications. He never throws his weight or status around, but ever simple, gentle, and receptive. He takes great interest in creativity and innovative thinking, and never compromises honesty and fairness to all. He is married to Rudy, his beautiful and charming wife, and they are blessed with lovely daughter, Zara. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sir Dr. Emmanuel Mark.
Our time is fast, and first of all, I want to thank Abuja Branch for inviting me to come and share my thoughts on this very important topic, our role in the infrastructure development of Nigeria. I want to start by stating the objectives. I want other parties to part of the session. Three things we must all understand here. We must understand the concept and types of infrastructure. We all know, we also reaffirm to know who we are, estate surveyors and manuals. And finally, we must know the role of estate surveyor, an estate surveyor and manual in the infrastructure development. The population growth in our country, society, people now move from primitive lifestyle to modern lifestyle. Everybody wants something good for themselves. So there is also need for development, there is need for infrastructure, growth, build, so those are the kind of things that force the government and private people. For us in Nigeria, there is $100 million annually. But just 2 days ago, our president did in class that Nigeria will need $1.6 trillion dollars to bridge our infrastructure gap in 10 years. That means what I have here is even low. For 10 years, we need $1.6 billion. 1.6 billion, that means over $100,000 to $200,000 annually. That's what we need to bridge our infrastructure gap in Nigeria. So such that, according to the president, when this kind of fund put into the system, can then increase our infrastructure challenge. So you can see that what you need actually is not a means place. So different persons have talked about infrastructure definitions and all that, but for me, I have decided to say that infrastructure involves not all the facilities that we need to make us live better. Most these facilities may be provided by government or individuals. So every facility that we need, every facility that we need as human beings to live well in our states, in our houses. Now, those facilities we need. That's how I want to define the definition of infrastructure. So, but we also have basically The big I talked about the type of infrastructure. Infrastructure divided into basically two categories: the hard infrastructure and under this hard infrastructure, we have other things like about our roads, airports, and all that. We have the energy infrastructure. Energy about our power stations, electrical lines, and all that. We have also the water infrastructure, our water collection, normal communication. Then we have communication infrastructure, communication architecture, we have telephone lines, night post facilities, shopping facilities, and all that. There's also the other side, the soft infrastructure. Soft infrastructure talks about those infrastructure that help to maintain the economy. And under this one, we have things like government infrastructure like this, and all that. That's things like the police station, in fact, military establishment, base stations, depots, and all that. The economic, that's also the economic infrastructure. The economic infrastructure will include things like our financial institutions, and then we'll go social infrastructure. Social infrastructure will include things like our shopping facilities, our social engagement, our museums, our libraries, theaters, studios, centers. Those are the categories. Then who is an estate surveyor and valuer? We all know who we are, but for the purpose of this talk, I will just say an estate surveyor is a person that the law says is, we have already 24 of 1975. So whoever this law has defined to be an estate surveyor. So basically, you pass through the institution, you have your diploma, and then you go back to the register. If you breach this process, you cannot be called an estate surveyor and valuer, basically. So those that before now we are looking for other ways of going to the registration board to register. You know, those things will not make you an estate surveyor and valuer according to the definition of this our act. So those that are estate surveyor, those that are passed through university, pass through the movement of training as an estate surveyor, then come to the institution, go through our system also, have your diploma, and then the diploma is a condition system for going to the board. So when you get to the board, and then you be passed through the process and given a stamp as T, as an estate surveyor and valuer. Basically, I talk about you can see there. I talk about the explanation of people as estate surveyor and valuer. I want us to go straight to why we are here today. The role of an estate surveyor and valuer is the most important reason why we are here. For me, I said one, an estate surveyor and valuer act as an advisor on infrastructural development. That is one of our specific roles. So as a leading professional in the infrastructural real estate profession, it's our role to advise based on infrastructural development. And so we can offer this advice because natural resources are limited. And so those are basic economic. You need to have the alternative. So it's our role as to advise the government or the individual establishments that want to do any of these projects. By training, we have all the experience to advise on the best professionals also on the successful implementation of economic workable policies. So it's not only just advice on the project, we can also advise on the mix of professionals to be included in any project. So that kind of training we have. Number two, latest survey compensation consultant. We all know that most of the participants are all marketing. And so by our training as a surveyors and valuers, we are leaders in the built environment who understand different stages of any development process and any development online. Of course, start with land acquisition. So, as the surveyors and valuers, we also get to advise where lands are available. We can also advise from where lands are not available. It's also our role to look at how government can get land. I know we have core competence in terms of training and living in this area. For instance, if government needs to acquire interest in land, state properties that belong to property, it is our role to look at this interest and work out the quantum of compensation that we should pay for people that are going to use their property because of the project that is going to go on. So those are the kind of things we have, and we are better suited to advise government. Number 3, asset surveyors and valuers as investment. Our past president asked a question on the feasibility of the rail project. For us, we begin to wonder if there was really a feasibility and viability for that project, because we hear that the cost of the project of Lagos is about $1.6 billion, and the railway stations, information like way of data that they pay about $40 million every month. So if you look at the figure, you begin to think, when is government going to do that investment within 100 days? So it's really challenging. So, but I do not know if railway population of Europe. I do know that all investments, especially for public food, may not be done for by way of profit, but there must be a way to cut down and reduce the return on investment, such that funding can be used for other projects. Because at the rate we are going, in that project especially, I don't think we are going to go out. If it's an individual that is investing in that kind of project, we can't come out. So those are the kind of advice that is of yours. Those are kind of to take, especially if you are allowed to take the road. So there are so many factors that could affect the proposed project: physical, economical, social, economic factors, different factors that can affect any project. However, the essence of your policy is satisfied that those factors are considered, then it can produce a good feasibility report that can drive the project. So our role in the subsector of our economy is huge, because the investment itself is a huge thing, and the level of uncertainty. And for government and people going to investment, that will ask you, how are we going to come out of this investment? So people are allowed to play our role, go a long way in helping government make better decisions. Essence of yours and valuers as project manager, one of wonderful role that we have to play in development projects. We have the onerous responsibility of overall planning, coordination of development from inception to completion. So as essence of yours and valuers, as project managers, we are enablers for projects by our training. So when we are employed, we should be able to offer those kind of services. Essence of yours and valuers, number 5. Essence of yours and valuers as valuer of infrastructure. By our training also, we are qualified to place value on infrastructure. And these values can be used for different reasons, for tax purposes, for insurance, for different purposes. And so
So that kind of school, the government establishing deploying manual electrical installation, Omega and all that. Those are if we're over the totally for we have a situation where cities of yours are not allowed to play the role of the and that is where I think I will come. It is not another thing I need to mention is that it's not to say that the cities of yours must be in charge of, totally in charge of any project. But what I'm saying is that the leader, as a leader in this infrastructure profession, we are supposed to lead and then identify professionals that will work so that government can begin to get the funds to investment. So for recommendation, I recommended that government must commit to providing good governance and ensuring public infrastructure are protected, managed, and maintained. And then the government must also endeavor to involve relevant professionals, especially estate surveyors and valuers in the ongoing and future development to closely monitor and also to ensure the projects are awarded and practical timeline activity for completion. Sometimes we have projects that's done, we don't have the time of completion. But if the surveyors are approaching and allowed to do their job as professionals, we go a long way in helping government begin to make it. So in conclusion, I concluded that the development of infrastructure is key to our economy, particularly as it relates to construction and management of infrastructural projects. So I now advise that the government and all parties involved in the infrastructural development commit to involve estate surveyors and valuers for pragmatic, sustainable infrastructure to meet our desires and development. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, once again, a round of applause for our very own essence of their value, Emmanuel Mark. Thank you, sir. Chairman, the session, I'll be handing over the plenary session to you.
Thank you. Only let's see that. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Emmanuel Mark and Dr. Aldi in absentia. So it's well represented here. You did say at the beginning that everything was sent to him. So does that include what I'm going to present to you? Do I keep those things? Okay, we are quickly coming to the end of this program. But before then, we have to hear from you by way of questions, and also to get a response from our guest speaker. Okay, starting from my left, that's one. Vice President 2, Chika 3. I said persons. You number 4. Any other? I will not allow after 4. You better raise up your hand now. No lady has raised her hand. When it comes to the issue of money now, you say we are what the man can do, the woman can do better. Raise your hand now. Okay. MC, out from here. Oh, there's another hand at the back. There is a man. So that's 5. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Just want to comment on our speaker as well. That's Engineer Quadri Saladi. Thank you for that. If I well presented, and also our very own Dr. Niesv Manuel Mark. I have two questions, and my question is actually to Commander General of Nigerian Security Civil Defense. In your speech, it was established that road lighting is actually an effective way in securing our roads. Now my question, why don't we have such facilities on some of our roads in Nigeria with particular reference to Jabi Airport Link Road? That road is a death trap to motorists at night. I would like to appeal to you to liaise with all necessary authorities in ensuring that that particular road is well lighted. Thank you. The second question, how best to enforce pedestrians to make use of pedestrian bridges provided for them on our roads? Thank you very much. Okay, to the first question now. Yes. Why don't we have such facilities as lighting on some of our roads in Nigeria with particular reference to Jabi Airport Link Road, which is a death trap to motorists, especially at night?
You live around that corridor.
Sir?
You live around that corridor.
Oh, I do. I make it of you very
well. Okay. No one. Okay. Then go to the man at the back. Don't worry, I'm in time. Go to the man at the back.
Yes.
All protocol duly observed. My name is Niesv Suleiman. My question goes to the second speaker. We know infrastructure provision capital intensive, and in Nigeria, these infrastructures are provided largely through government budgetary expenditures, and there are competing demands on this budgetary. What will the speaker suggest, or what ways will the speaker suggest should be the best way through which we can finance infrastructure in Nigeria?
Bring the microphone to Vice President here.
One observation. I submit that you are doing a chance. Thank you for allowing me. Double colleagues, an opportunity that's thrown up itself again for us to talk about the perennial problem estate surveyors have in playing their role. I'm addressing ESG doctor. Forgive me. I think ESG doctor will follow. Noel. He talks about our rules and the infrastructural development in Nigeria is the one that has defined one particular proper rule when the surveyors and planners talking about acquisition, assessment, and payment of compensation. And this is the greatest challenge we have in the country. I will give you an example. Sometime when ESG Mcpd was president, I was just ordinary unofficial member of council. And the Director General of due process, or what do you call them now? DPP, Engineers invited us and opened books of compensation assessment made by Valuer. You know, I've mentioned the past president, we can cross-check. And they told us the quantum and volume of compensation that was assessed. And they told us the project cost for that particular project. Of course, compensation was much more than the project cost. And he asked us to say, well, give us an assignment, go home and address yourself. The government cannot take all the money and pay compensation, and then will not do the project. That's example one. Then example two, God gave me opportunity to be the second vice of this institution. And by that position, I became chairman of the professional practice committee. During my tenure, some of those who work with me in this hall, we had 12 Ghana must go petitions concerning field of Ghana must go back of petitions by communities, by native doctors, by all manners of people on the assessment and payment of that compensation. We thank God that that matter ended in denying the lady who was in charge there of being the chairman of the branch. But we couldn't do more than that. Whether he has been able to go back and settle the things that happened then or not. Rather, he pursued so many court cases that at a point it was even difficult for Niesv to continue. Where am I going to? Sir Mark, when they wrote read your what do you call it now? Yes, citation here today. You have been adjudged the best in this area, if not in Africa, in Nigeria. What is your recommendation on how to stop the menace that is embarrassing the profession, that is also making us look like money choppers? I have a minister in this country today. Whenever he talks about business of where he has his pocket, I was in a function as a president. While he was speaking, he said, you know, USA surveillance. He was giving a slide. I think I'll leave it here. Show us the way forward as an expert. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, my noble colleagues, I adopt the existing protocol. Name is Niesv Sanchikokapo. The past president has actually dealt with the first phase of what I wanted to discuss, because this book actually gives us opportunity ourselves and see a way to fine-tune our activities and make a better way forward. Before I go to the second phase, I want to commend the two presenters. That of the Commandant General, represented here by his able lieutenant, and our own, our dear ESP Dr. Emma. Then the second phase, he has said it, that the issue selection, assessment, or acquisition and compensation payments has actually put our profession in a very bad light for the public. If not, damage our attention, it has led us to lose some friends. Like what the PP said, some of these ministers, when you say, particularly those who are in charge of land, they will say what we do is just to put money as if we don't do assessment. So I want us to start now to see a way to remedy that problem. And my own view is this, because it's not a question. He asks you what can we do. So I want to help by making available my own view that yes, our role is advisory. Advise the government on area or infrastructural development and implementation. And be that as it may, that role, I believe we should advise these stakeholders to process of infrastructure and implementation And what is the idea? You see today in Nigeria, we keep doing things other way around. Some of us who have police to go out, advanced areas, you see that area of infrastructure. Infrastructure is very, very, very essential item in development of a country and economic prosperity. So you see that in most cases, they first of all deal with provision of infrastructure facilities in a place before you go to develop. In Nigeria, we ask developers go and develop in the bush. There's no road infrastructure, no water, no light, nothing. Develop in the bush. Sometimes they start developing things in areas that are not even supposed to be developed. I am really tense. That's why I'm trying to express this. So let us start by looking in terms of stakeholders in this area of doing the ideas, starting from the government, the legislature, and all the stakeholders that things should be done in the right way. And they see us as SSOS and valuers trying to make sure we promote the ideal way of infrastructure development and implementation that will lead to economic development in this country. And when you go to do assessment and place value, they know that yes, what they are doing, you do it very well, and you are part of the people that have made it possible for us to do the right. Thank you very much. But I'll just be in a nutshell. What kind of body language we have to show our role in the process of body language? Because most times it's just all about the body. So how do we, which other ways do you feel more professionals to show our role in this construction relevant issues? Thank you very much. Okay.
First question was from a colleague behind me, asked how projects can be financed. Obviously, all over the world, everywhere you go, there's no particular country where it's funding everything about infrastructure. So infrastructure presently works around the PPP arrangement, government agency, government corporation, government cannot solve the problem. So government have so many needs to meet. So for government to really continue to do the things they want to do, can get funding partners. So PPP is like one of the important ways of financing projects. Our past president did mention about the cost of compensation and what actually. Let me take the first one. The cost of compensation. I was aware of the question on how values are worked and all that. But we know that key to compensation is replacement. I'm not too particular about what the value is. But if the process is done right, if the process of finding the value is what it is, that's what it is. That's what we can do. We go developing infrastructure after we have developed the town. When most of the projects that is in the township, so cost of replacement is competition will be higher. So we have to kind of problem. But my issue is that those that do not do well, how do we go about? And I think that's medical issue in other clients, this institution will fight harder. For instance, our colleague that did what he said, and then what happened after? What is what steps we take as an institution to further, take steps to punish the person and then send kind of signal to others. But one of the ways I try to handle one of these issues now is, we also have our colleagues that there's habit of throwing around values. It's really unfortunate to can't compensation. Go to 100 million. What we have done recently is we see with this board placing of seeds and stamps. And I noticed that some of our colleagues are afraid. Those that are happy, but we even in fact, those that bring high value. So you see that they put their seal and stamp. If they don't put, you don't give as somebody representing government. So that if there's a dispute, at least this institution, the third party can call the party and have to give them this value. Those ones can be solved. That is from escalating value, giving us problem. But for the other one, I think it's an ethical issue where our police go collect money, put to the community, they refuse to pay the community. At times they keep them off, then they go around, they give them some checks and they refuse them to see the actual value. What is happening in this area of practice is something that will take most of us busy while in the same place. But I think the institution can be more fair. If we use one or two of us as example, that will keep others out of not that practice. Really something that cannot comprehend. Yes. Okay, body language. Most of the time, government will not, when they put the advance on the national paper, some roads are roads. I remember when the past president was the president of this institution, there was a time and as the president went and fought, they included our service. I know a colleague also is in the forefront of protection of when it comes to government agencies, refusing to look at our side. It is the essence of our institute. We have a way of seeing the government publication and see our role. And if you don't see us there, he doesn't himself without talking to people. He goes and fights. And so for body language, we must be satisfied. Wherever we are, we see any our roles and that's what we say. Somebody decides to know or decides to see. As I listen to you and one you can personally challenge those actions. Even if you get back to this institution. But our colleague has been doing it and he's been getting a lot of stuff. So you sure then you cannot do that and because remember has been body language, challenge anything that you know is our role and are not allowed to challenge here and there.
Thank you very much. I got 2 questions. If there are more than that, please let me know. I assure you, I will not pass this, the answer of this question. Yes, I will try to answer it to the best of my ability. The first one was on pedestrian. The question was asked, and also on the road. The other one was talking about security, lighting, the 5G, and all this. The way I understand it, I want to answer this. The first and the most important critical national asset that we have, we want to see. By the time you try to cross the main road, you are not passing through the so-called the pedestrian crossing that is made for you. You are already and then putting your life in this. to track. How do we do that one? We have our people to pick and arrange this kind of people going up and down. That is number one. I don't want to say more than that, but all these people that are crossing roads unnecessarily, where it is not allowed, they are in for that. We notice that Nigerians generally, I don't know, you will see the overhead bridge, the pedestrian bridge over there. My people will not pass through that. Nigerians, they will prefer to convert food that come from here and there and then just go about. That is another offense that you are living your life and then pass by. I want you to have this at the back of your mind that by the time the new Governor General came in, the first thing he did, he went to see the minister of FCT. I was in the entourage. Some of these things were tabled to him. And the guy came up and he said that he is trying, but all populace is leaving the provision of amenities to government and government alone. That at our own end, we should try. Please, at your own end, the so-called infrastructure that you and I are using is not for government alone to provide. So individuals should come in. That is one answer there. Number two, the lighting issue and the services that those systems supposed to give to us. Actually, we have a problem with that. And who is to provide, who is to protect? Our own is to protect wherever they are located. But when they are faulty, we report. And that's why we are in synergy with other organizations like Federal Road Safety, the government of FCT, and other people that are concerned. It is out of our mandate to provide all this. But when they are provided, we only try and then allow it to perform. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Commandant. In acting capacity today, you've done very, very well. We appear as if you were the one who wrote the paper and presented it on behalf of your boss. But whatever it is, we appreciate your lecture today. And in our usual way, can we please give the guest lecturers a very heavy round of applause? On your behalf, I'd like to make a contribution to our best people. Stop. Where the camera?
This is our official photographer for this event. Please, where are you?
On behalf of the Nigerian Institution of Justice of Health, branch, Abuja, I'd like to present this excellent service award of Ahmed Abuja. Very nice. Sorry. The Commandant General of Civil Defense, thank you for obliging us today.
Supposed to do it, but
Right, pick it up. I'll post this. Dr. Our own Dr. Emmanuel Mark.
Nigerians left out. With 5%
On behalf of the branch, I'd like to present
this will last till 30th of September 2021. If it were you, I'll take this opportunity of a lifetime. With tea pumping, getting short. With tea pumping, affordability is certain. With tea pumping, it's now watch what? Develop other kids.
To put our own members. Are you ready to say
our first stop is the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, to be
okay,
so we have our land at Guzape.
We are done with the lectures. I think it's time to acknowledge our pastor.
Many more. Our next stop yes.
I hand over to the chief.
At Drakity, to be precise, where we have our land at John Road.
Please, a round of applause for our chairman of session, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, when you said that he didn't need the envelope, I said I'm sorry, we give it to you. Thank you very much. Please, there is a paid advert from one of our sponsors. Please just fix your eyes.
That's till 30th of September 2021. If it were you, I'll take this opportunity of a lifetime. With tea pumping, genuinity is assured. With tea pumping, affordability is certain. With tea pumping, integrity is our watchword. Tea pumping concept. Develop on the case.
How far you walk?
Not working. The mic is on.
Is it not?
Our next stop.
Open your volume for the laptop now.
Yes.
Are you hearing me on the laptop?
At Drakity, to be precise, where we have our land at
Getting the advert now. Getting the
Put the microphone where you are hearing
our
now.
next stop is Ekiti, the land of integrity. Yes, tea pumping is live in Ekiti, at Drakity, to be precise, where we have our land at Ijon Road, Afar Road 1 and 2, Ilawe Road 1. The big news is that tea pumping is ensuring that Nigerians in the diaspora are not left out. With the 5% ongoing promo on all our land, 30th of September 2020. If I were you, I'll take this opportunity to lifetime. Sure. With tea pumping, affordability is certain. With tea pumping, integrity is our watchword. Yummy, and so many more. Our next stop is Ekiti, the land of integrity and honor. Is live in Ekiti, at Drakity, to be precise, where we have our land at Ijon Road, Afar Road 1 and 2.
I mean, it's not working. It's not working. Where do that is in the event when you're ready? Just display the other one with price.
The diaspora are not left out.
Please, we are going to,
Yes.
as soon as they are through with that, we're going to.
This will last till September 2020.
We have some
Were you? I'll take this
platinum
opportunity.
awards for deserving members of the branch. The branch chairman will be presenting this award. Please, a round of applause for our branch chairman, the actual chairman, as he comes to present this award. The first on the list is the chairman of Mcpd committee, and the surveyor value Kende of Ushaya. Please, can we put our hands together for him as he comes up to receive his award?
Huh? Huh? I didn't see that.
It's for the Tobian Baga. In recognition of his immense contribution as the sponsor of this MCP.
Huh?
Thank you very much.
But wait.
Also, we have Esobian Baliwa at Dewale Chobalashe. Please, wherever you are, please can you come up and receive your award from the chairman of the branch.
Service award to Esobian Dewale Chobalashe in recognition and appreciation of your commitment towards the success of this MCPD.
Congratulations. Next up is the surveyor Baliwa Francis Ekeoma Kamen, an associate. Yeah, please a round of applause for us. So please, just so you know, as soon as we're done with this event, the chairman of the session has said that we must get through with everything, then we'll go for lunch. And trust me, you don't want to miss this lunch.
Bishop Soboyan Baliwa Francis, Kamen, excellent service award. Congratulations.
As the surveyor Baliwa Hajia Mrs. Umoru Salama, please can you come forward and receive your award. Surveyor, I will use the award to cut my leg. As the surveyor Baliwa Olabode Abdul Aziz, please can we have you step forward?
This is Sobian Baliwa Umoru Salama. Excellent service award. And I want to add to the fact that he was one of the people that raised a lot of funds for this country. Hajia has been very hardworking. She's always everywhere trying to raise money for this friend. She has been very excellent. I can vouch for her. Thank you, Hajia. Continue to do work.
Congratulations. Sorry, I understand. Just do one like this, that one. Please, a round of applause for her. By the, by our practice, she's supposed to, I think 10% agency will reach out for money when you know. Olabode Abdul Aziz, this is of your value of this, will have you.
Excellent service award to District Soweyo and Valia. Olabode Abdul Aziz. Good work.
Congratulations. Next up is Soweyo and Valia. Umamaka Vivian Performer. This is Soweyo and Valia.
Excellent service award to District Soweyo and Valia. Umamaka Vivian Performer. Yes, I would like to add, you have been the one powering the publicity of this Mcpd. He's always sending messages to be on our phone positively. She has been the one, everything about the publicity of this Mcpd is herself, and she has done very well. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Also for our sponsors for this year's Mcpd, we have Rock Ultimate Properties Limited. Please, representative. If Rock Properties Limited are here, or their representative, please can you come and receive this award. Also, we have Uche Peters and Associates.
Rock Ultimate Properties.
Yeah, boss. So,
Excellent service award. This is for our sponsor, Rock Ultimate Properties Limited. Thank you.
Next up is Uche Peters and Associates.
For the sponsor, Uche Peters and Associates. Thank you for sponsoring this event.
Rotimi Olu and Co, please. The principal consultant or a representative of Rotimi Olu and Co. If they are not here, we keep, please. Omale and Co, please.
This is for Rotimi Olu and Co. Thank you for sponsoring this event.
The principal consultant of Omale and Co or a representative, please. May you come and pick up this award.
And Co.
In Pumping Concepts Limited, is the representative of the Pumping Concepts Limited. Please, can you come up and receive this award? There will place it here for now, the big man, not the small.
Yes, this is for Pumping Concepts Limited. Thank you for sponsoring this MCPD.
OC Kamalu and Associates. OC Kamalu and Associates, please, can we have your representative to pick this award? OC Kamalu, right? Okay. Owoye and partners, please. Owoye and partners. Owoye. Oh, all right. Owoye and partners. Thank you.
OC Kamalu and Associates. Thank you for sponsoring this MCPD. Owoye and partners. Thank you for sponsoring this MCPD.
Tunji Tichinoye and partners. Can we have you, please? EK Wachuku Consultant, please. Can we have your representative? Also, Eugene Okafor Consultant.
It is Lawyer and partners. Thank you very much for sponsoring this MCPD.
EK Wachuku Consultant.
DK Wachuku Consultant. Thank you for sponsoring this MCPD.
Eugene Okafor Consulting. Anybody from there? Eugene Okafor. Well, this is Obia Baliwa, Gozi Lilian, Ohio, please. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes, DJ. This award is special. It's for those who were able to raise above 400,000 to sponsor this MCPD. They went around with different people and gathered special recognition, including Lillian Oheto.
Please can we put a round of applause for her? We don't understand what it means to raise 400,000 in this institution.
Very difficult.
650. You know 650. Someone said she raised 650.
Eugene Ocampo.
Bill Uwachu Consulting, please.
Eugene Ocampo Consulting. Thank you for sponsoring this MCPD.
Last but not the least, Bill Uwachu Consulting. Please can we ask you for your award?
Phil Washington and Associate. Thank you for sponsoring this MCPD.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for our branch chairman. Thank you very much. Our action.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished noble colleagues, please, at this point, I'm going to be handing over closing remarks by the chairman in session. After that, we have a vote of thanks by the branch vice chairman. As soon as that is done, we have our closing prayers and we'll go straight for lunch. And this is going to work out. Members on the high table are going to be going first. And after that, all the fellows will be going first. We'll be exiting through this door here. This don't take us to where we have the food arranged. So as soon as you go out from this door, you pick your food and you're coming back from this entrance and have your seat. This will be going on, we'll be going out in that order. The ushers will be directing us on how to go about it. Please can we put our hands together for our chairman in session. Please, a round of applause for him. We'll change the one. Let's close your remarks. The chairman.
Distinguished noble colleagues, I think we have done very well today. The guest lecturers have done their own bit, and we have done ours as well by listening attentively and making contributions. I want to thank you for giving me the honor to chair the meeting today, and I assure you I'm always available. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before we receive the vote of thanks, we want to recognize the Vice Chairman of Kaduna Branch. He came to show solidarity. This is Sobia Abadiwa Ambush Oko. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir, all the way from Kaduna. To give the closing, the vote of thanks is our very own Vice Chairman. The man that is looking all red. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sobia Abadiwa. Please a round of applause for him because of to give the vote of thanks, and after that, we go to
our president, represented by our own ESP mandate allowed, chairman is on behalf of branch chairman, DSP, Lancer, Ikena, Adagi, and the entire members, our unity branch. I say a big thank you to everyone that has contributed for the success of this program. Our sponsor, thank you. Our resource person, I say thank you. To our LCPD committee members, deeply led by ESG, I say thank you. And I wish everyone safe trip back to previous destinations. Thank you all. God bless.
When he was asking me if our vice chairman works in United Bank of Africa, they look like Tony Elumelu, red tie and red shorts. I said, well, it's Oga, he has protection. Please, Chairman, thank you very much. We'll be moving in that order. The table goes first. The top of my right, people are going to be directing us on how to go about. After that, fellows, please when you go there, eat what you know and know what to eat. There's too much to eat and there's too much to drink. Good afternoon, distinguished double colleagues. We'll see you in the next NCPD. DJ, let's have music. Please. Please, you are supposed to go with your personal effect of valuable items. Your phones, your handbags are nobody's responsibility, they are yours. Please don't drop your phones. Many are caught you as tips. Please don't drop your phones on any chair for any reason. Please, hold your handbags. Please move with them. Thank you. Okay, row by row. Okay, please, we go row by row, but there is no how to go about it, please, so that I don't have to much crowd. All right. Next 5 minutes, I'll follow the next row. Let's go, D. Next one. Open up. Yeah.
Katampe, Lugbe, Kiami, and so many more. Our next stop is Ekiti, the land of integrity and honor. Yes, Tea Pompey is live in Ekiti, at Ekiti to be precise, where we have our land at Ijon Road, Apao Road 1 and 2, Ilawe Road 1 and 2. The big news is that Tea Pompey is ensuring that Nigerians in the diaspora are not left out.
Hello?
With a 25% ongoing promo on all our land in Nigeria. This will last till 30th of September 2021. If it were you, I'll take this opportunity of a lifetime. With Tea Pompey, genuinity is assured. With Tea Pompey, affordability is certain. With Tea Pompey, integrity is our watchword. Tea Pompey concept, a developer that cares.
Ma, door off.
Let's get started into the Tea Pompey real estate world. Our first stop is the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja to be precise, where we have our land at Guzape, Katampe, Lugbe, Kiami, and so many more. Our next stop is Ekiti, the land of integrity and honor. Yes, Tea Pompey is live in Ekiti, at Ekiti to be precise, where we have our land at Ijon Road, Apao Road 1 and 2, Ilawe Road 1 and 2. The big news is that Tea Pompey is ensuring that Nigerians in the diaspora are not left out, with a 25% ongoing promo on all our land in Nigeria. This will last till 30th of September 2021. If it were you, I'll take this opportunity of a lifetime. With Tea Pompey, genuinity is assured.
Behind the inverter is not
Affordability
working.
is certain. With Tea Pompey, integrity is our watchword. Tea Pompey concept, a developer that cares. Let's take a tour into the Tea Pompey real estate world. Our first stop is the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja to be precise, where we have our land at Guzape, Katampe, Lugbe, Kiami, and so many more. Our next stop is Ekiti, the land of integrity and honor. Yes, Tea Pompey is live in Ekiti, and Ekiti to be precise, where we have our land at Ijon Road, Apao Road 1 and 2, Ilawe Road 1 and 2. The big news is that Tea Pompey is ensuring that Nigerians in the diaspora are not left out, with a 25% ongoing promo on all our land in Nigeria. This will last till 30th of September 2021. If it were you, I'll take this opportunity of a lifetime. With Tea Pompey, genuinity is assured. With Tea Pompey, affordability is certain. With Tea Pompey, integrity is our watchword. Tea Pompey concept, a developer that cares. Let's take a tour into the Tea Pompey real estate world. Our first stop is the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja to be precise, where we have our land at Guzape, Katampe, Lugbe, Kiami, and so many more. Our next stop is Ekiti, the land of integrity and honor.
I go play and since you are not here, you don't understand what is happening. I said the spire.
Where we have our land at Ijon Road, Apao Road 1 and 2, Ilawe Road 1 and 2. The big news is that Tea Pompey is ensuring that Nigerians in the diaspora are not left out, with a 35% ongoing promo on all our land in Nigeria. This will last till 30th of September 2021.
Bob, is that printer on?
I'll take this opportunity of a lifetime. With Tea Pompey, genuinity is assured. With Tea Pompey, affordability is certain. With Tea Pompey, integrity is our watchword. T-pumping concept, a developer that cares.
Ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé.
There's no light now.
Ṣé pásọ díẹ̀ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ wá. The Palacio by T-Pumpy Estate, the future of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Pegi, and Kudu, now selling at 50% off. It is never too early to become a landowner, house owner. That is why you join with me. K1 the ultimate, make your own buying, and you share from where the food is from. Ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù òun ló ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ìdí rẹ̀ ó títí pumping ṣe pa san díẹ̀ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ wá. Yeah, this is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pumpy Estate, the future of residential real estate, located in Idu, Pegi, and Kudu, now selling at 50% off. It is never too early to become a landowner, house owner. That is why K1 the ultimate, make your own buying. Ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù òun ló ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ìdí rẹ̀ ó títí pumping ṣe pa san díẹ̀ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ wá. Yeah, this is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pumpy Estate, the future of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Pegi, and Kudu, now selling at 50% off.
Almost all the departments
never
are
too
going
early to become a landowner, house owner.
from that
That is why you join with K1 the ultimate. Make your own buying, and you shall live from where the food is from. Ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù òun ló ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ìdí rẹ̀ ó títí pumping ṣe pa san díẹ̀ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ wá. Yeah, this is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pumpy Estate, the future of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Pegi, and Kudu, now selling at 50% off. Never too early to become a landowner, house owner. That is why K1 the ultimate, make your own buying, and you shall live from where the food is Ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù òun ló ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé ìdí rẹ̀ ó títí pọ́ǹpì ṣé bá sọ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ́ wá. Yeah, this is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pump Estate, future of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Mcpd, and Kudu. Now selling.
Don't be close, just go for lunch.
Off.
It's the same thing.
And the people will not connect.
That the socket, there's fire here. Behind the bottom. No, na the ball.
Ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ìdí rẹ̀ ó títí pọ́ǹpì ṣé bá sọ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin ẹ máa wọ́n. This is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pump Estate, the future of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Mcpd, and Kudu. Now selling at 50% off. It is never too early on the landowner, house owner. That is why we join with here one the ultimate. If you buy it, I shall títí pọ́ǹpì ṣé bá sọ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ́ wá. Yeah, this is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pump Estate, the future of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Mcpd, and Kudu. Now selling 50% off. It is never too early on the land house. That is why we join with you. Here one the ultimate. You buy it or you go for ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù òun ló ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ìdí rẹ̀ ó títí pọ́ǹpì ṣé bá sọ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ́ wá. Yeah, this is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pump Estate, the future of Abuja residential real estate, located in Idu, Mcpd, and Kudu. Now selling at 50% off. It is never too early on the landowner, house owner. That is why we join with you. Here one the ultimate. Ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù òun ló ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ìdí rẹ̀ ó títí pọ́ǹpì ṣé bá sọ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ́ wá. Yeah, this is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pump Estate, the future of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Mcpd, and Kudu. Now selling at 50% off. It is never too early to become a landowner, house owner. That is why we join with you. Here one the ultimate. Make your own buy from where the ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ẹni tó bá lájẹ̀ ṣẹ́kù òun ló ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ìdí rẹ̀ ó títí pọ́ǹpì ṣé pásán díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ̀ wá. Yeah, this is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pompi Estate, which of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Begi, and Kudu, now selling at 50% off. It is never too early for landowner household. That is why we join K1 the ultimate. Take your own buying and sharing. Ẹni tó bá lájà ẹ ṣẹ́kù ló ń ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹni tó bá lájà ẹ ṣẹ́kù òun ló ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ìdí rẹ̀ ó títí pọ́ǹpì ṣe pa sọ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ̀ wá. Yeah, this is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pompi Estate, which of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Begi, and Kudu, now selling at 50% off. It is never too early for landowner householder. That is why you join with me. K1 the ultimate. Ló ń kọ́lé. Ẹni tó bá lájà ẹ ṣẹ́kù òun ló ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ìdí rẹ̀ ó títí ṣe pásítọ̀ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ̀ wá. Yeah, this is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pompi Estate, which of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Begi, and Kudu, now selling at 50% off. It's never of landowner household. That is why K1 the ultimate. Make your own buying and ẹni tó bá lájà ẹ ṣẹ́kù ló ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹni tó bá lájà ẹ ṣẹ́kù ló ra alẹ̀ ló ń kọ́lé. Ìdí rẹ̀ ó títí pọ́ǹpì ṣe pa sọ díẹ̀ ẹ̀yin èrò ẹ máa wọ̀ wá. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. The Palacio by T-Pompi Estate, the future of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Begi, now selling at 50%.
They never finish.
It is never too early for landowner household. That is why
everybody don't come out for there. Eating, go get there, eating. But you don't even know, make I get the program. I want to know whether to stop this. Let me check the brochure first. The paper one.
Yeah, this is to announce to you the Palacio by T-Pompi Estate, which of Abuja's residential real estate, located in Idu, Begi, and Kudu, now selling at 50% off. It is never too early. That is why K1 the ultimate. From that
Okay.
So you now decide to snap the food. Why is that? All is more.
Okay.
All is more.
Okay.